I think we are live now.
Yes, we are live now. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the session with very warm welcome to the session with Performance Max Masterclass with the vehicle feed. So we've designed this specifically for you that how you can use Performance Max campaign uh, for your vehicle feeds and how we can optimize it towards that. And with me, I have to give a quick introduction. My name is Vinay Mishra, and I've been associated with the digital marketing firm in the expertise for 8 plus years across multiple roles in terms of campaign management, optimization, and troubleshooting. With me, I have the banker alongside me, who will be my co-host. Over to you, the banker, for a quick introduction.
Thanks, Vinay. Thanks for pulling me in there. We're super excited to be taking this session. We have tailored this session specifically for vehicle feeds, and we are super excited to also take you through almost each and every element to it. With that being said, I work alongside Vinay Mishra, so I'll not introduce myself that much. But yeah, I've been associated with digital marketing industry since the last 6.5 years, and today we are going to be touching upon a lot of topics with respect to vehicle feeds and also PMax general best practices and also specific best practices with respect to vehicle feeds as well. So without wasting any more time, I think I'll give it back to Vinay, and Vinay, I'll just give it back to you, pulling you in again. I'll see you in the next second half of the session there. Thank you.
Thank you, the banker. So before we start our session, uh, before we get started with our session, we wanted you to introduce you all to the Google Ads Community Program Expert Program. We have exciting opportunities for you today. The Product Experts Program is Google's super user community of product experts. You can represent a global network of everyday users who love using Google products and are passionate about sharing their knowledge. So, and you can also help others in the Google Help communities. When you become an expert, you'll be eligible for an exclusive program perks, like you'll get a special badge on your profile in the Google Help communities, and you'll get a direct access to employees to provide product feedback, eligibility for beta testing opportunities, and a chance to attend the expert only events. To apply to this program, all you have to do is please scan the QR code which is displayed on your screen, and make sure that you must be using the valid email address when you're doing this. So please ensure that you're using your valid email address. I'll take a quick pause for a few seconds before I proceed further so that you can scan this and fill in the form as we speak. Okay, great. Now, let's quickly discuss on what is on agenda today. So we'll be talking about Performance Max, how Performance Max is an AI powered solution for your specifically for your vehicle ads, how it has evolved in terms of the how Performance Max uses AI to assist you, and evolution of your vehicle feeds. Then we'll be talking about vehicle ads optimization and the best practices. Will be The banker again will be taking you through the campaign settings and the band safety controls, and we'll be talking about Performance Max optimization for success. And what we'll do is we'll be sharing a form with you after this session, so that if you have any questions around this, you can share these questions with us. We'll be more than happy to answer those. So today's customer is seamlessly and simultaneously moving across four key behaviors. Now they are streaming, searching, scrolling, and shopping. So this highlights the importance of being present and relevant across multiple channels to meet the consumers where they are in their journey. So consumers' behavior is constantly evolving, and the businesses need to adapt to these strategies to stay competitive. So, for example, let's say even if we take today's world example, right? We see that if we have to go ahead and particularly research about any car, right? Probably there are users who would go ahead and search for a car, then probably while they are streaming through while they're streaming through Gmail or let's say Discover, we have to make sure, and at the same time YouTube, we have to make sure that our ads are also visible there, so that we are not losing out on the that customers attention span. And then we have scrolling while they are also scrolling through different platforms which are available, and at the same time in terms of shopping as well, right? And that's where Performance Max brings the best out of Google Ads. So AI automation together and let brands like yourself promote your business across all Google surfaces. So Performance Max campaign help you increase your conversion across Google's full range of advertising channels and inventory. So Performance Max now allows you to opportunity to buy ads from a single campaign across all Google properties, helping you to drive more online sales, leads specifically when we are talking about vehicle ads specifically, right, or store visits when we are focusing on that part here. So, and we also have cross-channel campaigns represents the next generation of smart shopping, or when we're talking about foundation of the future of retail, right? We bring comprehensive view of intent signals online and offline across all the platform together in one place, making it simple and easy to manage and optimize, and at the same time report your campaigns. So as you can see, when you're advertising with Performance Macro Vehicle Feeds, you're eligible to showcase your ads across all the platforms that you're seeing here. Now, today's we, from our research that we have done in the recent past, we see that 67% of the consumers believe that making the right decision requires more effort than it used to, right? So 79% of the consumers say that they are more confident when they have done necessary research, and consumers who are using multiple channels to discover new products or services and make the buying decisions. So we have to make sure that are you showing up to meet them in all these moments. So this is a question that we have to ask ourselves, because 79% of the consumers are more confident about making a decision after going through a well performed research that they are doing about a car. Let's say they're planning to buy a car or a used car, so they are doing a lot of research that is going on in the back end. So we have to make sure that we are also present while they are researching about the product or the specific car that they're looking for. Now let's step into details of Performance Max and how it is an AI powered solution and how it helps you to go ahead and optimize your campaign and showcase your product well. Now, as I've mentioning, let's dive deeper into your Power Pair and explore how your search and Performance Max complement each other. So search campaigns, as you know, that typically focus on the text-based ads and appear on the Google search results page. Here, you are carefully selecting relevant keywords to match user search queries. And when we're talking about Performance Max campaigns, on the other hand, leverage advanced AI technology to automatically optimize your ads across multiple Google channels, including your search, YouTube, Discover, Gmail, and Maps. This means your ads can appear in various formats such as text, images, videos, and more. We've combined the Power Pair offers a powerful approach to reach customers at different stages of their buying journey or decision making journey, right? So search campaigns can target users who are actively searching for uh, specific cars, and while Performance Max can expand your reach and capture broader audiences, and at the same time ensure that you are able to tap onto these opportunities wherever they're going, right? This the synergy between search and Performance Max is particularly beneficial for the businesses because increase reach by utilizing both the campaign types. You can maximize your visibility across Google's vast network and reaching more customers and potential customers there. Now, when now let's quickly talk about how does the search and Performance campaign interact with each other, right? So here you have multiple user case scenarios which is showing here in the on your screen. So as you can see, the first option which is talking about search keyword if let's say you have a search campaign, search keyword campaign with keyword that is exactly matching the user query, right? And then you also have a performance max campaign, and because this keyword is exactly matching the uh, user query, then in this case the search campaign will be the one which will be serving through the auction there. And then you have your search keyword, search campaign keyword, and the keyword that does not exactly match with the user query. So whatever the user is searching, it is not exactly matching with the keyword that you have in your search campaign. In And you also have performance max campaign. In this case, the campaign with a higher ad rank will participate in the auction. And then you have your search campaign with exact keyword that identically matches the user query, right? In this case, and you also have a performance max campaign with search themes which that are identically matching the user query. So in this case, what will happen is, since there is an exact keyword which is identically matching the user query, the search campaign will go through the auction. And in the last user case that you're seeing here, where we are talking about search campaign with broad or phrase match keyword that identically matches the user query, right? And you also have search themes that identically again matches the user query. In this case as well, the campaign with a higher ad rank will participate in the auction. I hope that is clear for you. Now, speaking of the auto shopper journey, right? Because since we are very much focused on how vehicle ads are optimized in terms of vehicle, uh, uh, how users are interacting with auto industry. So we've seen that 89% of the researchers for new cars happen online. So probably if the users are looking to buy a new car, or at the same time thinking of making a purchase, the 89% of the research starts online, right? And 78% percent of these you are using search to research a new vehicle. So while the users are typing in, while they're going through a different, so if you remember, we have in the past we have talked about how users are behaving, right? So 78% of the users are search, and at the same time 16% of the users who have searched are basically of new car buyers ordered or purchased their vehicle in online in 2021. So this shows you how there is a shift in the way that the users are going ahead and researching a lot more online in terms of the car, right? So this is where we have to utilize the shift, and at the same time make ourselves more digital as well as what we have in the prior stages. Now, that's how the evolution from the vehicle ads to the performance max campaign with vehicle feeds has come into the picture. So we'll be talking a lot more about that, how and why we this is why we are introducing your performance max campaign with vehicle feed, where performance max with vehicle feed is a performance again focused format to promote new and used vehicles inventory to potential customer. It has been developed to be a simple and efficient way for you to surface your vehicle inventory to the right customer and increase your exposure on the search page basically. And as you know that the performance max campaign is an AI based campaign which allows you to find new customers and focus on your serves to the most relevant users to increase your conversion rate and the conversion value. As mentioned before, it is again inventory based performance which uses the best of Google AI with your inventory that you have selected to serve, and it ensures that it is showing your ads to the right user at the right time. So performance max increases your exposure complementary to your whole search page strategy and other Google surfaces like I've mentioned before, which is YouTube, Gmail, Discover, and Display Network. So with Performance Max campaign, with moving ahead with the changes, you have also see the new features that we have got. As you know, now you will be capable. You're capable of using max conversions and target CPA for your vehicle feed, and the ability to use the audience signals. You also have new customer mode and new customer only mode, where it also has updated the formats in which you can show your inventory, and it features you and the new features that you have, as you can see your screen, that it shows that how much of your ads are being showed on Gmail, search, YouTube, Discover, and Display. So we have also curated new insights and reporting as well, where you can go ahead and utilize audience signals, where first party data to find new customers and product listing groups and reporting. So if you have product diagnostics, which you can use that, and insights on the insights page, which will give you a greater view of how your ads are performing, and especially how your creatives are performing, because that's how you're able to drive that connection and build that rapport with the users online, right? So we wanted to also give you a quick case study that we have. So as you can see, we quickly wanted to share a case study featuring CanGaf drives 35% increase in the conversion value using the Performance Max for vehicle feeds. As one of the early adapters of vehicle feeds and Performance Max campaigns, the group was eager to try AI-driven Performance Max campaign with vehicle feed. The approach they followed was using Performance Max campaign with vehicle ads into a single Performance Max campaign with vehicle feeds campaign, which combined the text, image, videos, and other assets using Google AI to optimize for all the channels and inventory. By doing this, they were able to achieve 37% increase in the conversions, and they were 35% increase in the conversion value and 14% increase in the return on ad spend that they have seen. So let's let's understand what was the initial challenge that they were facing. So they represented the they initially represented 66 dealership across US states and were looking for new ways to get qualified and get leads across this platform. So they have the approach that they followed is to use different image, text, images, and videos that they were in the campaign, and then they've also used the insights page, which has helped them understand how the audiences are reacting to their uh, ads. And the marketing objective that they have selected is generate leads, and the products the feature product areas was around Performance Max campaign with vehicle feeds, as mentioned before. Now, we've also wanted to share another case study where the DBA platform, who offers a wide range of integrated features enabling brand agencies and platforms to excel in local search and effective enhance the customer experience acquisition in ever involving automation automotive industry. The company's vehicle dealer partners, they were facing a challenge with supply chain issues and while contending with impact of rising inflation. The approach they took here was to use the Performance Max campaign with vehicle feeds. It implemented a comprehensive testing framework and educated clients on the solution of benefits that they launched the campaign using industry ads expertise and following the Google best practices, including your assets and audience signals. So their testing framework included side by side testing running concurrently with the traditional vehicle ads, right? The results on the KPIs within days ultimately delivered an average 19% decrease in the cost per conversion that they were getting using the Performance Max with vehicle feeds, and 48% increase in the conversion rate and 41% increase in the conversion value. So additional to the data points, so this is what so 405% increase in the CTR that they had, and 32% decrease in the cost per click that they were getting. So this will probably give you an idea on how Performance Max with vehicle feeds uses the AI and machine learning together to help you find these users at the right time, who are actively researching about the cars, who are or planning to buy a used car, or at the same time who are planning to buy a new car there, right? So when we're talking about your Performance Max with vehicle feeds, you have to make sure that these are the three pillars that you have to uh, make sure that these are set right. So multiply your customers by connection, finding new customers across all the Google channels and inventory. So as we were speaking earlier, that Google uh, Performance Max with vehicle feeds offer you two options where you can use the audience signals to go ahead and either you can set your campaign to find new users, new customer acquisition goal, or the new user goal, right? So basically, if you're setting your campaign to find these new users based on your first party data, it can optimize towards finding the users who are lookalike to your existing data that you've got, and you can multiply the conversions and conversion value by optimizing the highest ROI or conversion opportunities that you have with Performance Max campaign. We can, especially if you're using leads for an example, there you can use the conversion value rules to go ahead and also optimize on your leads performance. For example, if you're using enhanced conversion already there, what you can do is you can go ahead and use this additional data that you have been getting and use that to again re-upload that offline via offline conversions, so that you are going ahead and also optimizing your audience list, which are possibly these are the specific customers who are going ahead and buying a car, right? So I would say Performance Max campaign that where I'm using my vehicle feed, I'll probably s- share this audience list who are buying the potential, who has these are the specific type of user who has the potential to buy the car. I'll be using that list as a seed list for my campaign. And you can multiply your expertise by sharing insights to the strategic questions about your business. So you can use your, as I've mentioned earlier, you can see which audiences are performing better, which creatives are performing better, so in the insights page, and also the rating that for your ad that you have selected, make sure that it is good or excellent, which the banker will be taking you through about the creative best practices in the later stages as well. Now, let's quickly talk about your Performance Max with vehicle feeds and the best practices around it, right? So make sure that we are going ahead and providing high quality inputs to influence the results. So as I've mentioned, Performance Max is an AI driven campaign. So it is very important to optimize towards the campaign goals, right? And ensure that we are the whatever the goal that we have selected, be it leads, because when we are talking about vehicle feeds, most likely we would want the users to go to the website, fill in the form, and make a call reservation, so that once the reservation is in place, we can go ahead and also optimize to one ensure that the lead is then going towards the end sale, right? So we are ensuring that the campaign goals has been set right, and at the same time, your be it your audience signals, what kind of audience signals, what are the audience's first party data that you're using to optimize your campaign, what is the data that you're feeding to the campaign. It is very crucial there. And in terms of in your feeds, we have to make sure that the feeds are well optimized, we are using the right creatives, and we are using the right keywords in terms of to place our car when we are talking about its brand safety features. If we are using it, we are also utilizing the brand value of that specific car that we are trying to promote. And in terms of creative assets, we have to make sure that we are using the high quality creative assets, and also using brand safety features to ensure that we are not really focusing, or our ads are being triggered on places where we do not really get engagement from. So these are the best practices that you have to make sure, or you can use as a bi-weekly setup whenever you're working on towards optimizing your Performance Max campaign. This is something which you can definitely incorporate on that. So with Performance Max, with vehicle feeds, when we are specifically talking about your core vehicle ad fundamentals, so make sure that you're measuring the conversions properly. So all the pages that you are, which are very important towards your conversions, make sure that these are tracked properly and they are firing the data well. And keep your feeds updated in terms of whenever we are if there is a specific image that we have to roll in, or any video that you've got. So make sure that your feed is updated, and at the same time you're using the Performance Max extras where which Performance Max campaign has to offer with vehicle feeds, organizing your campaign based on the goals that you've selected, and adding the creative assets and testing the creative assets using A/B experiment, using the relevant audience signals, as I've mentioned earlier, because that's how you're, based on your first party data, that's how you're going to tell Performance Max campaign that this is the type of audience that I would want to find the new users from, right? And using the search themes, right, which we'll be talking about in the later stages, uh, and ensuring that the campaign settings and the brand safety is, we are also able to utilize on that part. Now, setting the conversions value to represent the importance of your goal for towards the business is very crucial. So, in your measurement best practices, please ensure that you are going ahead and using the smart bidding strategies, and at the same time, uh, you are also using the enhanced conversion, where you are able to cover the all the three different aspect, three stages of these journey, for which is wherever, when we are talking about where the users are you're basically browsing for your vehicles, from that stage where the user is submitting the inquiry form, and users later in the stages where user submits the financial lead form, and uh, and going ahead and taking the initial next steps to probably to buy a car, right? Be it a new car or a used car. So we have to make sure that we are able to use the conversion. We are setting different conversion values at different stages, so that we know what is the potential lead, what are the kind of users that would be you know, going ahead and optimizing for my going ahead and probably buying a car, rather than just users who are just filling in the feed. So the quality and the quantity is also has to be taken care of. So we know that we might get quantity of the leads, but the quality is sometimes missing. So using this method, we can also optimize and make sure that we are improving the quality of the leads that we are getting there. So with this, we have to also mention that make sure that we are also recommending using a double measurement solution as your conversion source that supports the engage view conversions, so that it is very crucially important in this aspect. So in terms of vehicle feed optimization, so these are the few checklists that we've created. So make sure that you're keeping your feed fresh, right? So basically, as I've mentioned earlier, if you have any new images or any specific, let's say, uh, in terms of you have to make sure that you're submitting your every 6 hours basically. So if you have any in 1x per day, if you have to remove, or if let's say there are sold out vehicles out of stock on ongoing basis, please make sure that is being updated, so it is not really hampering the user experience. And include the optional attributes to help us understand the inventory well. So some of the optional attributes good to include, which is your trim, body style, engine, and description, right? And at the same time, please make sure that you're using high quality images, clean images, and at the same time with minimal background. So where we are this is basically because the whenever the user is seeing the image of the car, or whenever they're seeing image of the car with the different available, they're more focused on the car than the background that we are having, right? So it will also increase the user experience and improve the feed data quality. Check always keep a close eye on keeping the data fresh, and at the same time you are addressing if there are any issues specific to related to the feed, right? If let's say the any particular product listing has been feed item has been disapproved, or any specific image has been disapproved, we are also keeping a close eye towards that. Now, how make sure that you're organizing your campaign based on the goals, as I've mentioned earlier. If mostly if it is towards leads, we are organizing your campaigns towards goal. Let's quickly learn how we can do that. So in terms of structuring, make sure that the key rule is to make sure that your campaign structures and asset groups are aligned. So the key rule is to align the campaign structure with the business goals which are available for the assets. So we'll be working towards understanding how we can differentiate your campaign structure based on your goal that you have, and based on the cars that you're selling. So if it is a new car, if it is an based on a specific segment of the cars. That is something which we'll be learning now. Right. So first thing, you're creating your performance max campaign, and then we have assets groups. We are creating multiple assets group in picture, right? Like asset, add groups that we have, but you can add multiple asset groups to one campaign. Unlike before, when you could just add one ad group, right? Now, in the ad group, you can first go ahead and list your listing group. And from once you've listed your listing group, you can go ahead and optimize your, go ahead and add your assets that you have curated for your specifically for the car that you're selling, right? Once you have uploaded the assets, and again, make sure we are also incorporating the best practices, which will be later mentioned in the slides. So, and you're all using the right first party segments to go ahead and use this in the campaign. And once this has been taken care of, you can if you have group of products that you would like to prioritize during the holiday season, you can separate them or on a different performance max campaigns or lower your return on ad spend target. This will maximize the visibility across the products in the uh, in the in the upcoming weeks in the leading to the peak season holidays. That whenever there is a specific peak season, you can either divide your asset groups with between the new cars and the used cars here, as you can see, so that you know that you have different creatives for the different audiences. So if you're using audience signals, again, it is also important that you customize your audience signals towards what kind of audience that you want to target. If you want to target new cars customers, you're using your audience signals as well. So if you want to target the used cars, probably the users who are interested in used cars, so you're also using the first party segment based on that as well. Now, this is again which is the most recommended for the advertisers. And in terms of when we're talking about campaign structure and asset groups, let's say if you want to also go ahead and optimize towards if you have different set of audiences in terms of place, you can also create two different campaigns, which is where we are aligning our campaigns for specific types of uh, cars, right? Where we have performance max campaign 1, which is focusing on new cars, and we have performance max campaign 2, which is focusing on used cars here. So where we are in terms of used cars, where we are going ahead and using the 75% of the budget, or 75 for an example, let's say you're out of $100 of the budget that you have, you're incorporating $75 towards the new cars and $25 towards the used car campaign. And you're keeping your return on ad spend for new cars as 150%, whereas on used cars it is 115%. So as we know that based on the as the car goes in 10 years, we the value decreases. So based on, again, according to that, you can set your return on ad spend targets. And if you're segmenting, you can also go ahead and segment your campaigns based on the type of cars that you, or the segment of the cars that you're selling. So for example, if your client has an EV segment of cars that they want to focus on, or they want to increase sales on the EV segment of the car, so rather than incorporating that in the existing campaign that you have for vehicle feeds, what you can do is you can create a new campaign which is specifically designed for EV, and then you can let that campaign optimize. If you also have a holiday sale which is coming up, we would suggest you to start creating this campaign at least 1 month before the holiday season, or at least 2 weeks before the holiday season, so that it has it has already crossed the ramp up stage, and it is going ahead and optimizing accordingly. So in terms of adding creative assets, make sure that in terms of you're increasing your reach by maximizing all the creative, you're utilizing your ensuring that you're uploading all the assets, the asset options that you have, be it images, be it videos, be it in terms of different dimensions of videos, which is horizontal and vertical videos, and text as well. So when we're doing that, we are ensuring that we are enabling our campaigns to show across different placement and inventories that Google has to offer with Performance Max campaign. So if you have just, let's say you have a text and you have image and but not videos, we are losing out on that part of the area, right? So let's make sure that we are, even if we are using one particular image, we would suggest that you are using all the dimensions that are available, so that all the placement options that we have in the display network, be it discovery, be it Gmail, we are able to. And in terms of video as well, again, all the different dimensions of the videos that has to be uploaded, so that you're also able to incorporate that you're maximizing your reach, at the same time placements, by using all the creative assets options that you have. Now you can refer to the checklist, the Performance Max Creative checklist that we have incorporated. Probably what you can do is you can take a screenshot of this, so that you can print it out whenever you're creating a Performance Max campaign, or you can go ahead and use this as a best practice, so that miss to ensure that we are not missing out on uh, following the best practices. In terms of images, where we have three dimensions of image, which is landscape image, square image, and portrait image. We have listed our specifications here. As you can see, the recommended is to use 20, which is the maximum limit here, so that you're also in unlocking all the placement options there. Logos, again, we have minimum required is one, but we would suggest you to have the maximum limit, which is five. And then same goes with the video as well, where you're using your horizontal, vertical, and square videos, which are greater than or equal to 10 seconds in length, and one vertical video where we are using at least five, which is the maximum limit which is available. And in terms of when we're talking about your Performance Max Creative checklist, where you're using the text, make sure that we are using the final URL. And at the same time, when we're talking about headlines, these are the specifications where we are using 15 headlines and at least one with 15 characters or less, right? And in terms of long headlines, where we're going ahead and using 90 character at max, but we try to make sure that we have having headlines that are at least 30 characters long there. In terms of description as well, we have 90 characters at max. We would, again, these are the recommended list, as you can see on the towards the right. uh, the minimum required is also listed, where we in the headlines where we have three, and for the rest of the other description where we have one. But we would recommend you to use the maximum limit, so that we are also able to run across different user cases, and at the same time unlock different in terms of text, which we Performance Max, based on the user search query, it is also able to optimize with your text that you have created. And especially your business name and call to action is something which it is automated by default from the selected list that you are using. So, and in terms of display URL, it is also suggested that you use this 15 characters as match, so that the user is already knowing where they're going to. So with that being said, that's it from my side. Whereas I hope this session, this part of the session was really helpful, and this should help you go ahead and optimize your campaigns. And at the same time, you can go back to your campaigns and see what you're missing, and you can optimize accordingly. And with that, I'll quickly pull in for the pull in the bunker for to take you to the rest of the session there.
Absolutely perfect. Thanks, Vinay. I think I'll start sharing my screen.
Right.
Let me do that right away.
And while the bunker is sharing a screen, we also wanted to uh, share this one of the best practices that, well, let's say if you're optimizing towards your making changes towards your bidding strategies, make sure if it is a best practice that you go ahead and take some time and optimize, get at least 50 conversions, and then certainly make any changes towards a campaign. Debanko, over to you.
Perfect. I think. Perfect. Thanks a lot. Vinay, I think we have a lot of concepts cleared there. We'll get into the campaign settings and brand safety control section now, and we'll cover each and everything one by one. There are a lot of things that we have to discuss there. So now we have to understand, like, to truly maximize the potential of your performance max campaigns and expand our reach, a foundational best practices across marketing objective is basically to turn on your URL expansion, right? Now, if you look at the screen, the final URL expansion feature is basically designed to help you achieve maximum coverage on relevant search queries by doing a few key things, right? So we have mentioned everything there in the slide. So first, it basically helps your ad in showing up on additional searches that have a higher likelihood of leading to conversions. Now, this also means that your ads can actually appear for a broader range of relevant queries that the system identifies as high potential. Now, secondly, it's also effective at driving traffic to the most appropriate landing pages dynamically based on the query as well. So instead of being limited to just one final URL, you are also providing the system intelligently the data that basically selects the best landing page on your site for reach for specific query there. And third, basically, it assists in using the landing page content to dynamically customize your headlines and descriptions for your ads as well. Now, this also creates more relevant and personalized ad experience for users, right? So, again, there's a compelling statistics, right? As we can see, advertisers who use final URL expansion with Performance Max campaigns see an average increase of over 9%. In the overall conversions per conversion value at a similar cost per acquisition as well there, right? So again, just sharing a pro tip there, you can simply add a page fee to specify which URLs basically to use in your ads for your Performance Max campaigns, and this also helps Google Ads ensure that all relevant pages are indexed, and also informs where exactly to show your ads and directs your viewers or your visitors on your website. If you also have specific pages you want to really exclude, you can simply use URL exclusion or URL parameter rules. Uh, and always be sure to also exclude any web pages that are not really aligned with the campaign's language settings for the best user experience. And finally, for the navigation, you can simply review URLs that have been used in the campaign level. You can simply go to the campaign, and then if you go to reports and then landing page, you will be able to see what are the landing pages there. So enabling URL expansion is a super powerful way to basically leverage Google's AI to find new connection opportunities and also ensure that your ads are highly relevant and effective across a wide range of surfaces. All right, now let's talk about adding another layer of sophistication to your Performance Max campaigns, which are basically your conversion uh, value rules as well. Now think of it like this: all the conversions that you see are not really created equal, right? Like some of them are more valuable to your business than the other ones. So conversion value rules in this case basically allows you to tell Google's AI what exactly they are, right? So let's imagine you have a VIP customer segment, like customers in a specific location, or let's say those who have made previous purchases in the past, right? And you can simply use, in this case, your conversion value rules to assign higher values to the conversions from these specific segments. So, for example, if you know that a customer in New York City have a higher average order value, then you can simply set a rule to increase the value of conversions from that specific location. Or let's say if you want to prioritize conversions from existing customers, you can again assign a higher value to their actions as well. And you can even adjust values based on device used. uh, there's just one thing to remember, like conversion from mobile devices are also more valuable to your business. You can simply assign the value there as well. So by using these rules, you're basically giving Google's AI a clearer picture of which conversions are most important to you. So it's like saying, like, pay extra attention to these customers and they are basically worth more to my business. So this level of granularity basically allows you to optimize your campaigns for the most valuable segments and drive better results as well. So I mean, wherever possible, leverage conversion value rules to fine tune your campaigns and maximize your ROI there. Also, Google's AI can now easily creative assets for your campaigns, and it can actually save you a lot of time and effort as well. So we're just showing how it exactly works. So when you're setting up a new campaign or asset group, you will have the option to generate assets, right? And you can also use AI to generate new assets or improve existing ones within your asset group. So this feature is currently available for Google Ads English users, but we do have plans to also expand it to Spanish, Dutch, German uh, very soon there. I mean, if you have to just take an example, imagine you are running a Performance Max campaign for a new product launch, right? So instead of spending hours creating multiple ad images, you can simply use AI to basically generate a variety of high quality options. And this can actually help you test different creatives and identify the most effective ones for your audiences there. Now, also when setting up your campaign, or creating a new asset group, you will actually see this section called asset generation. You can simply fill in your final URL as well. It will basically try and generate creatives out of that also. It will basically get a reference on that. All right, now let's move on to an important topic for many brands, which is basically brand safety. So we are going to spend some time around the safety controls that we have, right? So this slide basically highlights a key reassurance, right? Which is basically Performance Max campaigns are actually compatible with your existing account level brand safety controls. Now, this also means that you still have control over where your ads are appearing and ensuring that they align with your brand's guidelines and values. So you can manage these settings directly within your Google Ads account settings, as you can see in the screenshot. Under the settings menu, specifically account settings, there are clear options to basically define your brand safety preferences. So you have control over elements like your inventory type, which basically allows you to specify the kind of video you want your ads to basically associate with. And furthermore, you can also manage excluded content and excluded types and labels. We are going to touch upon these topics in the upcoming slides in detail. Now, these options basically enable you to prevent your ads from showing on sensitive content categories or specific types of inventory that you deem inappropriate, let's say, for your brand. So, this robust compatibility means that while Performance Max leverages the automation for performance and it is actually scattered around multiple touch points, right? But still, you as an advertiser would basically retain control over your brand's image and also ensure that your ads are placed in suitable environments. All right, team. Let's look at another important control for brand safety within Performance Max, which is basically the tier content pickup. Right now, this feature basically allows you to opt out of groups of sensitive content that does not really align with your brand message. So we are actually getting into the details of it. Here we are actually talking about the inventory type that we select as well, right? As you can see, there are three inventory types. So it's again about ensuring that your ads appear in environments that are suitable for your brand image. Again, at its core, your inventory modes are basically our cornerstone of brand suitability setting, right? Now these modes basically offer you a choice among three levels, as you can see, each providing a different gradient of content suggestiveness or profanity, again balancing brand safety with potential reach as well. So it's super important and also crucial to note that this control currently applies to YouTube videos and display inventory only, right? So let's quickly go through the three options. So as we can see, the expanded inventory is basically designed to maximize your available inventory by showing your ads on some sensitive content. It also includes extremely sensitive content, for example, excessive profanity or graphic sexual content or any nudity or anything, any mature content that you would want to avoid. That is basically there, right? The recommended setting the recommended standard inventory is basically the default setting, and it basically aims to show ads on content that's appropriate for most of the brands worldwide, right? And this also includes the same exclusions as expanded, but also removes the content with repeated strong profanity or any strong sexual content and discussions of let's say real or dramatized violence, either real or dramatized, right? So it will actually avoid everything on that part. And then we also have limited inventory, which is basically the most restrictive. and also designed to exclude most types of like sensitive content and limit your available inventory. So this option will basically also filter out moderate profanity and moderate sexually suggestive content as well. So for example, let's say if it's a toy brand, right, you would never want the targeted audience, I mean, you would never want your brand to basically appear on those kind of inventories, right? So we can definitely make use of the inventory settings and make sure that our brand guide, I mean the brand story and the brand narrative actually goes well with the type of inventory that we are choosing there. Cool. Now, building on a discussion of brand safety, let's also explore digital content labels. And this feature basically provides you granular control over the maturity of the content you appear near to. Now, it's also another essential tool for ensuring that your brand's message is actually delivered in appropriate environments. Now, digital content labels basically classify content into film style rating, as you can see. Now, these are basically broad classifications that help you align your campaign with like better suitable content. And Google also uses various signals, including site, then video, then app content, which is basically audiovisual content associated with text or images or like metadata, right? It's basically in our ad network to classify content and assign a label to it. So as we can see, first we have content labels for families, right? Now this label specifically includes content designed for kids, right? Or let's say for kids content on YouTube specifically, such as content intended to be consumed or co-viewed by families as well. Then as you can see, there's a DLG, which stands for content suitable for general audiences. Now, this content is unlikely to contain any mature content with examples like cooking or parenting. Then moving down, as we can see, there's DLPG, which basically signifies content suitable for most audiences with parental guidance. Now, this also may contain some mature content, for example, non-contact sports or beauty as well. Then there's DLT, right, which is basically content suitable for teens and older audience, which may contain frequent mature content such as comedy or news as well. And the most mature label is basically DLMA, indicating content suitable for mature audiences. Now, this may contain excessive mature content, but should not really include pornographic content or any mature content that is not really suitable for a brand. With examples like explicit content or adult humor, that could be a part of that label, right? And finally, as you can see, there's unrated or not labeled yet, right? Now, these are basically, as the name suggests, is basically the content that has not been assigned a label yet. Now, these digital content labels basically provide a powerful and granular way to align your ad placements with your brand specific suitability requirements, giving you precise control over your campaign's reach and environment. All right, team. Let's also look at another important control you have for brand safety, which is basically your content type exclusions. Now, this feature allows you to control the type of placements on which you appear. Now, it's about giving you fine-tuned control over the specific environments where your ads are shown. Now, here, as we can see, category options are types of channels, video, and sites that you can actually allow or exclude. And this basically includes various formats like live streaming, then embedded videos, then park domains, and also in-game environments. So as we can see the placement types in the tabular format there, we'll break down some of these key placement types that you can actually manage. So if you look at park domains, these are basically defined as registered but undeveloped website domains. Then if you look at in-game, that refers to online and mobile app games where ads are shown within the game, right? For gambling sites, these are sweepstakes. Then casino websites, then sites that sell gambling equipment, etc. Right? So it's important to know that this is also excluded by default. Then, if you look at embedded videos, these are basically the videos embedded on sites, and for these, the exclusion just impacts only the overlay inventory. And finally, live streaming events basically refer to broadcasted live events, where the exclusion also impacts only the overlay inventory. So these content label, the content type exclusions offer you a comprehensive way to ensure that your ads appear in contexts that are precisely aligned with your brand suitability requirements and giving you granular control over your placements as well. Now, talking about placement, we are at placement exclusions. Now, placement exclusions basically allows you to restrict the publishers, then videos or channels on which your ads run. So we are getting even more granular there, right? So essentially, it basically gives you precise control over where your Performance Max ads will appear or will not appear. So again, placement exclusions basically allow you to specify pages or sites or mobile apps, videos or channels that you would like to exclude from your Performance Max campaign. And this is a crucial tool for maintaining brand suitability and ensuring that your ads appear in appropriate contexts. We also have a best practice recommendation here, as you can see. Um, so we always recommend you to not include www dot in your placement exclusion if you are concerned about subdomains. Now, this helps ensure that your exclusions work as intended across various URLs there. And you can also manage these account level placement exclusions, which is basically found in the tools and settings section. Under that, if you go to the content suitability, as you can see, the interface provides options to either browse or directly enter specific exclusions for different categories like let's say YouTube channels or YouTube videos or any websites, apps, and even app categories are actually included in that, so you can also exclude those. Now, this feature provides a robust way to refine your ad placements and also ensure that your Performance Max campaigns aligns perfectly with your brand specific safety and suitability requirements. um, we'll talk about brand exclusions, and this is basically the last slide when we are talking about exclusions as such. And after this section, we are also going to touch upon the best practice and how we can exactly optimize for the best success that we are expecting out of our Performance Max campaigns there, right? Now, when we talk about brand exclusions, this feature basically is designed to make it easier for advertisers to uh, route your branded traffic away from specific PMax campaigns. Now, this also gives you greater control, especially if you have dedicated campaigns for branded search terms, let's say. So, with brand exclusions, advertisers can actually create shared brand lists, which are quite similar to negative keyword lists. And each of these brand lists actually contain a set of brands, and most importantly, they are also configured right to match all variants of a brand name, including a foreign script, let's say, and even misspellings with respect to the brand name. Now, this also ensures comprehensive coverage for your brand. Consider it like a broad match for the brands, right? So it will basically consider every synonym of that as well. Now, once you create the brand list, your brand lists are basically applied at a campaign level. And if your in your campaign settings, any advertiser can basically select brand lists and anything that the brand list that they want to exclude in each campaign, and basically assign it to that campaign as shown in the screenshot here as well. Now, the interface, as we have simply put it there, the interface clearly shows where you can actually add these exclusions, giving you visibility and control over specific brands you wish to really exclude from your Performance Max campaigns. And by leveraging this tool, by leveraging brand exclusions, you can strategically manage your brand traffic, right? Preventing overlap as well, and ensuring that your Performance Max campaigns focus on incremental value while allowing dedicated branded campaigns to capture that specific demand. With that being said, that's all about exclusions there. We'll talk about optimizing your Performance Max campaigns for success, right? And we'll do that by discussing a fundamental element, which is basically adjusting your budgets to increase your scale, right? So we'll talk about how exactly you can play around with the budgets, and we'll actually clear the air. There are a lot of confusions around that, so we'll touch upon that topic. So to truly unlock the potential of your Performance Max campaigns and drive greater results, it's super essential to make sure that your campaigns are not budget constrained, right? So even if you are hitting your full budget, if you find you are already utilizing 80 to 90% of your budget, always consider increasing the budget to the algorithm um, to basically give the algorithm more headroom to be more aggressive, right? Because if it has reached 80 to 90%, there's a clear sign that it has more appetite, right? So let's always make sure that we are actually giving it that room. This also provides the system with more flexibility to find new opportunities. And specifically, we recommend increasing the budgets by 20 to 25% to benefit from the advantages of Performance Max campaigns, specifically for vehicle feeds as well, right? Because there are new formats and inventories as well. So um, it requires an additional budget. So always, not specifically additional budget, let's always just make sure that we are not constraining it, right? As and when it hits 80 to 90% of your budget, make sure that you are kind of increasing the budget by 20 to 25%, given that it comes with new formats and inventories as well, right? Now, the concept here is basically straightforward. A low budget means ads may be shown less, while a higher budget means ads have the complete potential to be shown wherever Performance Max campaigns has to offer there, has to cater on the overall placements there. It will actually allow you to allow the overall algorithm to scale effectively as well. And there's a very important reminder: your Performance Max campaigns will not always display a limited by budget flag there. I mean, that's basically the warning that it shows. So always remember to check your budget in Google Ads, and proactively monitoring your budget is basically the key to sustained growth. Cool. Now, building on our discussion of budgets, let's now look at how to exactly adjust your ROAS or CPA goals to increase scale, right? So, when it comes to setting your ROAS or CPA targets, it's super important to also know that this step is kind of optional. You can opt to use either the default maximize conversion value, which is something that we recommend, or maximize conversions bidding strategy, or optionally add in ROAS or CPA goals as well. Now, if let's say you wish to add ROAS or CPA goals, we have a clear recommendation here, right? We definitely recommend to start your campaigns on maximize conversion value and wait until your campaigns achieve the desired scale before adding ROAS or CPA goals. Now, even without a specific target, our bidding algorithm will still maximize your conversions uh, or your conversion value for your budget, right? So once your campaigns have scaled, then you can start with a goal that is within 20% of your ROAS or CPA you are currently getting. Now, the slider that you see on the screen basically visually represents the trade off, right? Aiming for more conversions typically involves lower or no ROAS goals, or higher CPA goals, right? And conversely, focusing on more efficiency means aiming for higher ROAS goals or lower CPA goals there. So that's basically the explanation there. So to elaborate more on that, setting a lower ROAS target or higher CPA target means your bids will be more aggressive in auctions, driving more conversions, right? It's as simple as that. And on the other hand, setting a higher ROAS target or low CPA target means that the algorithm will bid more conservatively, and also likely win fewer auctions. It will basically help you be more precise, and if you are more ROI focused, it will not really go full throttle there. Now, it it becomes conservative in that case, and wins fewer auctions, like those which are most likely to lead into a conversion, right? So this strategy means better results but fewer overall conversions there. So understanding this balance basically allows you to strategically adjust your ROAS or CPA targets to either aggressively drive more conversions, or optimizing for higher efficiency depending on your current business objectives there. Uh, then talking about ad strength, now this is super crucial when you're creating your ads. Make sure that we are keeping a tab on the ad strength. It basically includes signal to help you understand if the text asset quality is good. The image and video quality signals are also included there, right? So make sure that you have the right assets during campaign creation, and also um, at a later stage also continue to monitor them as well, right? For example, as we can see on the screen, always, like, if you go to the ads asset section, you can simply use the performance column to identify assets with the best ratings, right? And continue to add more assets like those. So your this is basically a true picture of how your campaigns are going to perform in the future. So always make sure that we are always trending at best there. Perfect. Now, With that being said, let's review measurement. That is also a super crucial part, because this is everything that we have done. It is also time to be able to track things properly. So this slide underscores the importance of the data that we feed into our AI-driven systems, right? Which is basically the quality of your first-party data that you share is super crucial, because it's basically a direct relationship, right? The higher the quality of the data that we receive, the better is our conversion modeling and AI. Now, high quality first party data always empowers the AI to deliver superior results. Now, when we talk about data quality, it has two main components, both of which are super necessary. And as we are looking at the screen, first, there's durability, right? Now, this asks the question, like, is your conversion measurement privacy safe and future proof, right? Like in today's evolving privacy landscape, ensuring your measurement is resilient and compliant is paramount. And then second, we have comprehensiveness, right? This component basically addresses whether your conversion measurement is comprehensive of all available attributes and signals, right? The more complete the picture you provide, the better the AI can actually understand and optimize. So overall, just to summarize, investing in the durability and comprehensiveness of your first party data is not just a best practice, it is actually a necessity to unlock the full power of AI for your campaigns. Perfect. All right, team. Let's also continue our discussion on measurement by focusing on these three key pillars to measure performance max, specifically with vehicle feed. These three areas are fundamental to ensuring we are actively and effectively tracking and optimizing our campaigns. So, here the first pillar asks the critical question, like, am I really measuring what exactly matters, right? So the core idea here is that the information that is basically collected is an ally to make decisions and anticipate new trends. It's about ensuring our data directly supports actionable insights. The second pillar focuses on economics, with a direct question, as in, am I attributing the right value to each action? Now, this also means ensuring my economics are reflected in the results that sorry for that. I think there was a disturbance in between. Um, no, this basically. Apologies for that. I think there was a disturbance in between. Perfect. Now, the second pillar, as I was mentioning, focuses on economics. Now, this again translates, if you are exactly attributing the right value to each action, as I mentioned. Now, this also means ensuring that your economics are reflecting the right results and insights that you're trying to analyze, right? And it's super important that our measurement accurately reflects the financial impact of our efforts as well. And finally, the third pillar, if you look at it, it basically talks about the tools for continuous improvement and the plan for outcomes. Now, the emphasis here is on adopting a test and learn culture, which basically adjusts to changing client needs, right? Which is all about continuous testing and adaptation, which is basically a key to sustained success. So, by consistently addressing these three key pillars, uh, and measuring what exactly truly matters, and accurately reflecting our economics and fostering a culture of continuous testing and learning, we can comprehensively evaluate and enhance our performance max campaigns with vehicle feeds there. Perfect. Now we'll explore the road to measurement success, which can have different shapes depending on your business. And this slide basically outlines various stages of measurement maturity across the three key pillars again. So as we can see, how businesses progress through stages like emerging, then developing, then proficient, and extending, right? Basically, if we visualize a graph, let's actually take x-axis as a measurement pillar, and the y-axis basically talks about the stages that it goes through, right? So for the measurement, so for the measure what matters pillar, an emerging stage typically means that you have a basic understanding of measurement and share shallow conversions with Google to bid. Moving to developing, the focus basically shifts to having privacy centric data collection and understanding first party insights. At the proficient stage, businesses basically rely on CRM integration to have a broad view of online and offline actions to also measure success. And finally, if we look at the extending stage, there's a sophisticated understanding of the business and ads that impact in every tier. And they also use analytics to also inform their decisions. Next, for the bid to value pillar, emerging businesses have not assigned valued to their conversions. In the developing stage, they are like on the road to understanding and bidding towards value. And becoming proficient here means they understand the value of these actions and bids to them. And at the extending level, they basically use first party data to bid and pass dynamic value for each conversion. And if you look at the last section, which is basically a test and learn pillar, an emerging approach basically means experimentation is not a part of the planning process because focus is only on attributed conversions reported in Google Ads. In the developing stage, businesses use basic experimentation to also understand the impact of new account changes, and experimentations are super important as it actually gives you the true picture of what is going to happen, right? Without spending the overall budget there, it will definitely use a minimal amount of your budget, but it is always good to have experimentations done before the launch. Now, in this case again, if you look at proficient, uh, like proficient levels basically see the use of channel level experimentation and are on the quest for cross channel insights for budget distribution as well. And finally, extending here basically signifies a recognition that one tool doesn't fit all, right? And use multiple measurement tools to make decisions about your budgeting. Now, the framework that we are seeing here basically helps us understand where a business stands in its measurement journey and provides a clear path for advancing your capabilities across these essential areas. And it actually puts the entire thing into structure, and it will help you understand like where we are currently at this point of time and where we want to be. And with that being said, I think we are at the end of the session. But I think I'll pull Vinay in if, in case you have anything additional to add. But that is all I had, team. And it was super nice having this session with you. Vinay, I think I'll quickly pull you in there in case you have anything to add.
Thank you, Dibanka. That was, I guess you've covered everything. So hopefully, the audience this session was helpful to you, and you've gained great insights around the Performance Max with vehicle feeds. Thank you so much for being part of the session. Thank you, Dibanka.
Thanks a lot. Vinay. Thank you, everyone.